So we can just welcome ourselves into the body, into the present, and noticing your breathing where you feel it. No need to change it quite yet, but just notice how your breath feels. And particularly in the area of the chest, in the heart. Sometimes we can notice here a little heaviness or a little tightness when we bring attention to the heart area. And by the end of this breathing exercise, you'll probably notice that it's opened and softened and released. And first, just letting the weight of your body, letting it drop down, giving it over to gravity and to the support beneath you. Be mindful of the earth element below you and around you. By dropping this weight, we might sense that there's more space in the body for the breath. Feeling your breath to be round and becoming more full as you breathe in and feel the upper part of the body lift slightly. The chest opening, the spine gently lifting. Breathing out, remaining upright and present in this posture of basic dignity. And imagining the crown of your head at the very top, softening, opening. This place that we call the thousand-petaled lotus. You can imagine that this lotus at the crown just opens naturally, as if it is receiving sunlight on the morning, bright morning. Now take a nice deep breath through the nose and allowing this breath to travel down the front of the body as you breathe in and as you hold your breath for a moment with the breath down at the base, the perineum, breathing out through your legs, breathing down into the earth below, breathing back in the earth element up through the legs, up to the base of the spine and the back, and breathing out up the back of the body along the spine and out through the crown. Breathing back in, you breathe down the front of the body, to the base, breathing out through the legs into the earth below. Breathing back in, receiving that earth element, the energy of the earth up through the legs. Breathing out, up the back, continuing that earth element, that earth energy up along the back and then out the crown. Breathing in again, we breathe in the light of the heavens above and around, down the front, down to the base, and then breathing out through the legs. And breathing that quality of brightness into the earth below us. This is the external orbit. So do this a few times on your own, knowing that you are in this midpoint between the heavens and the earth. An expression of both. Just following this easy flow of breath and energy through the body, through the channels. Gentle, easy movement, no need to push or rush any of this, but just allowing, taking your time. In Taoism, there is a word, wu wei, which roughly translates to effortless effort or actionless action. This is the spirit of moving this energy through the body. It's just this very gentle, intentional will, and otherwise just allowing it to move on its own. And after your next exhale, we're going to move to the inner orbit. Breathing in down the front of the body the same way, down to the base, the bottom. And now breathing out up the spine, all the way up back to the crown, and then breathing back in, down the front. And this allows for this gentle circular motion that we call the inner orbit. So just take a few moments, practice this on your own. And we're going to add one more step to this practice, a heart cultivation aspect to it. And on your next in breath, breathing down the front and pause at the heart, the center, the symbolic heart, and feel an opening, a brightness, and a warmth here. And then continue on down with the rest of the inhale. You can pause here, take a sip of breath, or just breathe normally for a moment. And then breathing back in, we breathe up the back. Or rather, we breathe out, um, letting the breath ascend up the back on the exhale. And pausing at the back of the heart. And allowing that brightness and that warmth to also radiate from the back of the heart. And then completing the exhale all the way up to the crown. So breathing in again, down the front, pause at the heart, feel a sense of brightness and warmth opening. And then continue the breath down to the base. Breathing out, up the back, pause at the back of the heart. Feel that same quality and then continue on the exhale to the crown. And if you like, if you find this a little challenging, when you pause at the front or the back of the heart, you can just remain here and breathe normally a couple of breaths. And then continuing on. Up to you. What we're actually doing is uh, flowing this heart energy throughout the body. So when we pause at the heart in the front, and then we keep breathing in, we're actually sending this heart energy to the rest of you. And then also in the back. So this sense of warmth and genuine loving intention is also part of this orbit and circulating throughout the body. And when you're ready, you can simply return your breath to normal rhythm, whatever feels right. Know that this orbit will simply continue on its own with the breath as you continue to practice. Feeling this quality of light and warmth and joy that you've circulated through the body. And just feel yourself really shining with this quality from the inside out. feeling a deep sense of love, of compassion and kindness for yourself. Not a narrative or a story, but simply a quality that arises naturally in this moment now. Let this also be an expression of your own deepest intention for yourself and others, knowing there is wisdom at the heart of this experience. There is also strength here. And let's experience each other here on this call in what I often refer to as a jeweled net. Each of our hearts is a point on that jeweled net, and let us share it with each other, this quality of brightness and warmth, the wish for deep well-being and love for each other. Both receiving it and extending it out. This jeweled net can shine so brightly. Be imbued with so much warmth. And together we can widen this circle to include our family members and our friends and our loved ones, spouses, partners, siblings, dear friends, and even those we know that we may not be that close to. And we are doing this with the power of one heart together. Wishing deep well-being and joy and freedom for all of these people in our lives. And if there's someone in particular that you'd like to dedicate this practice to, who could really use some extra wish for love and well-being, Just simply offer them up into this jeweled net. We all may not know who they might be, but we still hold this very deep, loving space for them together. And finally, widening this circle without boundaries or limits together, extending the light of our compassion to all living beings everywhere without exception. Recognize that you are the source of this wish and of this capacity to be boundlessly compassionate. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy in a natural, lasting, and genuine way. May all beings be peaceful. And may all beings be well and healthy and free of illness and disease in mind and in body. May all beings be free from suffering and all that causes suffering. If you like, you can bring your hands to heart center and offer a bow.